Everything that we sell online, our lead-in is an actual physical product. Adding that physical thing put us in a category that was different than every other digital offer that was out there. And people like stuff. So having that little thing on the front to your digital thing that you're already selling can be a real game changer. Talk about how we find leverage in the business. The first one is replication. You are sitting here today in one of our best business assets, Traffic and Conversion Summit. And last year when we got done with Traffic and Conversion Summit, we said, God, that was awesome. Wouldn't it be great if we could do one of those every single month? And everybody laughed. And then we said, what if we could actually do one of those every single month? How would that happen? What could we do? We can't do it in San Diego. You guys probably don't want to come out 12 times a year, but we could expand internationally. We could replicate what we've already got that's working. So if we take this to different places, we can use the same content, use our host partner if we work with somebody else, use their audiences, and sell to our existing sponsor pipeline. You've got 200 amazing sponsors on both floors here, and we have about 2,800 that we stay in contact with throughout the year so that we can bring you the best people. We can tell them we're going to do this now in a different place, and we'd love for you to come there too. And tap our certified partner network locally and launch new countries for our certified partners from these events. So that allows us to leverage customers, our investment, and our team. And so we have done a TNC in Australia 2 years ago as a test, and we are now working with a team in Australia and a team in Brazil and a couple other places to roll TNC out. Replicating it is one of the quickest ways to take an asset you've got and really leverage it. So if you look down on the right side here, it says benefits key, team growth, scale, and funding. These are all the things that we do. This is kind of our quick hits list. So when we go into a new company or we start a new company, we say, what are the things that are going to move the needle the most for us? And the first one is, can we take it international? Can we replicate? The next one is going to be, can we manufacture in-house? Can we take manufacturing? T-shirts. When we started buying T-shirts, we were the biggest customer of a company called Sunfrog. We started at, I think, $11, got down to $7, and now we brought all of the manufacturing when we got to about 60,000 T-shirts a month. We brought all the manufacturing in-house, bought all the equipment, and now we make our own T-shirts, and it costs us under $3. All profit, right? All of that savings is just cutting out middle people. So shortening the supply chain by manufacturing in-house. Buy your competitors. The easiest way to get a whole bunch of new customers is just to buy your competitor. And I'll talk about how you can do that without paying anything for it. Buy your suppliers. Buy your clients, buy out your partners, take cost centers and turn them into profit centers. I'm going to go through an exercise for you on how we do that. Buy complementary media. If you've got something now that you're doing that you could buy a site that's got a ton of visitors for, or even a Facebook page. We bought a 250,000 member survival site for $1,500, right? And so just buying complementary media, franchising your business to others, licensing your brands and products to others, creating joint ventures and strategic partnerships, licensing, crowdfunding, borrowing a sales force. We borrow sales forces all the time. So we were in the motorcycle helmet manufacturing business, and we wanted to get distribution of our motorcycle helmets all over the country and in Canada. And to do that, we would have had to build a giant rep network. So we went to another company that already had a rep network and was selling motorcycle parts to all the mom and pop motorcycle shops. And we said, hey, you guys don't do helmets. What if your sales team could offer helmets? We'll give you a little bit of margin, and they can get the commission, which is good for them. And we cut a deal and ended up in all of the motorcycle shops, and then sold the company 2 years later at Kohlberg, Kravis, and Roberts for a whole bunch of money, right? Outsourcing or offshoring, you guys I'm sure are familiar with that, like using people in the Philippines. Adding services to physical products or digital to physical products. So a lot of the challenge, how many of you guys are doing e-commerce, selling a thing online? Thank you. Okay, so you're selling this thing online, and you probably realize that margins can be really tight on that. And it's hard to grow an e-com business because you sell the stuff you've got, and then you need to buy more media, and then you need to buy more of the stuff that you had before, but now you need more because you're buying more media, and you need more people to fulfill it, right? And until you sell that business, it's really hard to take any significant money out of it. So if you add a digital product to that, what's the margin on a digital product? It's 100%. So if you can add some digital products to the physical products you've got, that's a fantastic way for you to fight margin compression. And then you can end up selling things and buying more media than your competitors because they're not selling 100% margin goods. The same thing applies in adding physical products to digital. So everything that we sell now, everything that we sell online, our lead-in is an actual physical product. We call it a tripwire, right? Perry named that. I remember in Del Mar several years ago when he came up with that, he's like, man, this is great. It's called a tripwire. We're going to do it. We're going to make a bunch of money. And we did. So, but adding that physical thing put us in a category that was different than every other digital offer that was out there. And people like stuff. So having that little thing on the front to your digital thing that you're already selling can be a real game changer. And then doing what we call bolt-on businesses, and I'll go through this in a little bit more detail, but this is taking something that you already have, slicing your business into profit centers, and then taking the things that you're really good at to other people who don't have those, and then having access to all of their people. And I'm going to give you these slides, and they're already uploaded, and I'll give you the place to get them when we end. This is a very leveraged version of Jay Abraham, who happens to be here. This is a leveraged version of Jay Abraham's, there's only 3 ways to grow a business. You can get more customers, you can get them to buy more frequently, or you can get them to buy in greater transaction amounts, right? Buy more stuff when they buy. This is the leveraged version of that. So for us, it's, you can add a channel, you can get channel partners, and I'm going to give you examples, so I'm going to go through this part quick. Acquire another entity with a software purchase agreement or an asset purchase agreement. Do an affinity play with the center of influence. You can leverage transaction size, get bigger transactions by adding other people's products or services, getting bigger orders or getting higher margins. And then frequency, we solve by adding continuity. We just want as many continuity products as possible. So our second base offer on every offer that we make on the non-digital marketer side, where we own sewing.com and survivallife.com and makeup tutorials and all that, is a continuity offer, okay? Here's how that looks in real life. So for adding a channel, we decided we wanted to try to get in business with Salesforce, so we went and exhibited and paid for a speaker slot at Dreamforce, Salesforce's big event. We talked with Entrepreneur Magazine about doing events because we happen to be okay at doing an event. And then we talked with Microsoft about lead gen, and I'll show you the exercise on how we ended up in business with those guys. You can buy another entity. So we bought an entity, I think that was a blog called Survive in Place that was doing $30,000 a month several years ago from a guy that decided the world was going to end and he wanted to move up to Utah or Montana in a little shack and do whatever you do when the world is ending. And so he sold us Survive in Place for $30,000 a month for a year, and now it does a couple $1,000,000 a month, right? So we just bought that from him, so we didn't have to start from scratch. Did the same thing with a publishing company we just sold. We deal with influencers in the food space and the makeup space, and we do these top-down videos that are super popular. We get referrals from Damon John. We did this thing with him. Our first deal with Damon was called Spy Escape. It was with Jason Hansen, a deal that he did on Shark Tank on the show, and we ended up selling a couple $1 million of it really quickly, and so now Damon talks to us and says, hey, I've got these new products that I got on Shark Tank. Can you help me sell them, right? So we're using that as a point of leverage. For bigger orders, we bought bathbombsupplies.com when we started making bath bombs so that we were selling retail bath bombs, but also we decided to sell the ingredients that made the bath bombs. We sell the bath bombs wholesale to other people, so those are orders of $10,000, $50,000, $100,000 instead of $795, right? Leveraging that. And then cut deals with the suppliers, with other people to sell the ingredients so we could go buy bigger orders from our suppliers for less money and leverage that. And then adding recurring revenue, I mentioned there's a recurring component on all of our offers, usually an association or a buyer's club. And then you can buy recurring revenue from someone else. You'll notice True Conversion, which is a digital marketer property now. We bought that as an existing product from somebody that was that had that we were a subscriber, we were a customer. And then recurring affiliate offers and other people's lists. And so how this manifests itself is this is the SaaS, this is True Conversion. So it was an existing SaaS. It had the benefit of it. There's no development time. It already exists, so we don't have to develop it. Leverage, right? It was a vendor to DM, so we already knew that it was good. We have an existing development team, and they had an existing development team as well, so we were able to leverage that because we already had a team we could fold those people into. We put 5 figures down on it, the owner carried back, and we got 3 times our money that we put down on the acquisition in the first month because we also could leverage the audience that we already had. We could leverage the sales force that we already had. We could leverage the email list we already had. So just think about these things in your business too. You can really grow a business fast if you just think about the strategy level and look for the leverage. Look for the leverage.